I am humbled and honored to be recognized by the National Federation for my submission to the 2020 BlackBerry Peach Award contest. A while ago, we lost an American treasure, a singer-songwriter and political activist whose songs became anthems for several social movements. Pete Seeger's death prompted me to eulogize his life with the following poem. For Pete's sake, elegy for Citizen Seeger. Oh, he had a hammer. Hammered in the morning, evening, he rang out freedom, sang out love between our brothers and our sisters all over this land. Such a hammer was the music he wrote and performed. Master of the five-string banjo, he sang, strummed songs of protest, prodding people to march for human rights. We shall overcome. March against war. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Yes. He had a hammer. His hammer had a sickle for a while. He was communist with a small c, said he. But he loved his country, loved people, the common man and woman, the working stiff, the oppressed. Fought for progressive change and was blacklisted for his efforts. A weaver of songs never stopped singing. Turn, 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 there is a season. What a hammer. He urged us on to sing together, come together, overcome together, deep in our hearts one day. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Rest in peace, Pete. We'll keep you in our dreams.
Hand-me-downs. A response to Gwendolyn Brooks' We Real Cool. As guests of the party, we lurk upstairs. Late night rolling out the welcome mat, our blood comes and goes. It's a cool night together until chitter-chatter teeth strike gold. Living kitchen conversation, nerves tick and time evaporates, as does the water in the pan on the stove. Auntie's spatula digs up the dead truth. It flips brown girls dipping chicken and egg and shaking it in the bag. We repeat. We could shake before we could go to school. But Auntie says it ain't always fair. As heat rises, busy female fingers knead dough. No poverty, insecurity, and hand-me-down fates or hand-me-down death. This quest, passed from black crayon father to brown crayon son, leaves me with a half-baked lesson. But what is the worth of a hand-me-down quest fulfilled in the next dark basement conversation? Jazz rules the room. Under the glow of the 50-inch which dims and flicks, we cannot see each other, and we are not looking. Shaded eyes, Uncle teaches me how to lie. The weight of shadow-tinted lids pulls down the corners of my mouth. His deep voice ringing and piercing my ears. Song in the air, soft gin hanging there. Thank you.
Grandmama's golden saddle. You need that like a hog needs a saddle, Grandmama said, typically eager to deprive because deprivation leads to salvation. A place beyond earthly reach, but not beyond earthly riches. I'm going to a place where the streets are paved with gold. Peter's pearly gates, beyond which she will wallow eternally in all pleasures foregone. But for now, forgetting that eternity has no beginning, she will forego, as others should, be good, and live on earth like a saddled hog.
Love Rises for Eleni and Eric. Love is not a stagnant statue to be worshipped from a distance. Not a half-naked Venus having borne the sculptor's touch, now pedestaled and admired only behind the red ropes of brightly lit rooms. Love, it's less marble and more marble rye. Love may start cool, but if cultured and fed, bubbles to life. Love is a gentle mix, not a blend. Lovers are swirled but remain whole. Love is the science of a chemical reaction and the art of a baker's flair. Love is a full table, the nourishment of never being alone. Love needs the conviction to compromise and break even. In those moments when you think it lost, love remains, ready to be lifted and set upon the counter, requiring only the commitment to be worked and worked again, to be warmed by flowered hands and put tenderly into the heat of the hearth, until when we are hungry and need it most, love rises.
And this is Jack and Jill. One fine day not long ago, I took myself a walk, saw some footprints on the hill, and I heard some voices talk. I came upon some people that were standing on the hill. I said, "How you folks are doing?" They said, "We do what we will." They were standing in a circle around something I could not see. One folk stepped out and stepped up to me. "I'll tell you the tale myself," said he. "It seems two folks done fallen down. Seems one folk done broke his crown. And the rumors are out all over town that it was Jack and it was Jill, and it was high on this hill where they walked and where they talked, and where Jack said, I got a voice, he said, for talking to the sea. You got a voice, Jill said, for talking to me. I got a voice, Jack said, for the ocean. You got nothing, Jill said, to match my emotion. I got a voice, Jack said, to listen to the skies. You got a voice, Jill said, for my ears and for my eyes. Your tongue touches tears, cuts them down to sighs. Let's be quiet for a while. They say it together. The night is warm. They play on the hill till the stars fade. Sleep a while. One big smile. Later they get up and go out for a drink. You know the rest.
Walls. Hadrian's Wall, now a rampart of stone and turf, cut Britain in half, separating the Roman Empire from the rest of the world. Visible from space, with a naked eye, a giant snake winds through China, still scaled by many. Turks and Greeks know of Troy behind city walls under siege for 10 years, only to be devoured by a wooden horse. In Croatia, the walls of stone still dip and ascend to shelter the once coveted salt. Below the Ishtar gate of the walls of Babylon, Iraqis fight and die in the shadow of one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Korean troops face off across the belt around their peninsula's waist, where armistice agreement and a murderous axe lie side by side in the lifeless village of Panmunjom. Inca ancestors heaved polished stone upon stone on the northern outskirts of Peruvian Cusco. In Costa Rica, barbed wire lace glistens atop rusting metal sheets, caving in on the shacks of Nicaraguan migrant workers. I know about walls, and one cutting Berlin in half, and cutting the eerie night quiet with rapid gunfire to stop a man and a woman from holding hands. You know about Operation Gatekeeper, Operation Hold the Line, and Operation Safeguard. Deep jeep tracks mar the landscape and turn toward their desperate cargo, never to reach the land of Cocaigne. Animal carcasses bleach in the sun, unable to quench their thirst or complete their migration. A steel trophy arrests mariposa and other butterflies on American Indian land, where the old boundary marker is too weak to resist.
And this poem is titled, It All Happens Here. A quote from healthline.com says, "The right lung is made up of 3 lobes. The left lung has only 2 lobes to make room for your heart." It all happens here, at this crossroads, this place of exchange where we trade one thing for another, leave behind whatever is waste in our lives, then gather in whatever we need. You picture perhaps only a few square inches of contact where heart nestles next to lungs. But get this. Clusters of tiny air sacs called alveoli perch at the end of each bronchial tube, about 600 million alveoli, with a surface area equivalent to the size of a tennis court. We're not talking about a few bunches of miniature grapes here. and each alveolus is covered by a network of capillaries. That's where the handoff takes place. Think about it. The heart can give up its debris of anger, discouragement, loneliness, can gather up the pieces of its grief, spill them into blood flowing through these microscopic tributaries, sending all of it to the lungs. The lungs corral these discarded toxins, bundle them with carbon dioxide, then expel the whole mess. Look what happens next. These same 300,000 square inches of connection infuse the bloodstream with oxygen, imbue it with healing, enable the lungs to cradle the heart.